album sounds absolutely fantastic when you sit down to listen to it. So congratulations for what you guys were able to achieve.
Thank you very much, man. Thank you. It is a very different album, and it wasn't expected. We didn't plan to make an album, and at the end we got one, so it's great.
Exactly. Where did the idea come about in the first place? Like, I know the whole world was in shutdown last year, so where did the idea originate from for you guys?
Yeah, basically because of that. I mean, we were ready to go on the road. We had the new album that came out in February 2020, and then on March we're supposed to be starting the tour in North America, and then everything stopped. And I mean, we couldn't really play. We couldn't play tour and promote the new album, so we kind of created this event every Wednesday that we could keep in touch with our fans with the live Q&A and perform our music in this new format of each one of us in our own houses and sending videos and audios and stuff, and like a storyteller remembering the old tours and albums, and we create this to keep the band working and alive, basically, because I mean, Sepultura is a touring band. That's what we do. We tour, we play, we go on stage, and etc. And SepulQuarta really saved us, as a band, really to keep working every Wednesday, every week. We had to, to be together virtually, of course, to discuss ideas and who we're gonna call and what type of subject we're gonna use on the Q&A and what song we'll do and etc. So it was very healthy and it was growing.
Yeah.
We didn't plan to make an album. Our idea was just to do every Wednesday this internet event. And at the end of 2020, we realized we had an amazing material in our hands with amazing people involved. Our guests, fantastic musicians, all around the world, and we decided really to organize an album, and here it is. Finally it's out.
So that has me intrigued. How did you decide which track you were going to look at each week, and how did you decide who the special guest was? Because you guys have got so many tracks now that you could have picked. How difficult was it to pick each week?
No, it was pretty easy because it was not a rule. I mean, it started, the first SepulQuartas was only Sepultura, and we kind of did a playthrough of our music of the new album Quadra, So we kind of playing on the actual sound of the album, and then slowly, we were adapting to development of the technology, let's say, and our bands doing collaborations, playing covers and stuff, and we start doing the same with our music, and we start. And Eloy started to record his drums and then send to me, and then I put my guitars and organize the audio here with Paulo and Derek and the guests, and I mix the stuff myself. I'm not a professional mixer, but was enough, for what we were doing there. Our webmaster did all the editing for the videos and stuff, and every Wednesday was, who's gonna call today? I don't know. We did some classics like Rise, let's say, Territory and stuff like that, but we used this opportunity to play some side Bs or side C as well.
Yeah.
Apes of God and Vandal's Nest and stuff like that. So it depends. It was very open. Sometimes the guest suggested a song. Sometimes we had a song and the guy liked it. So it was very open.
As a band and as a creative outlet, how did it feel going back over some of those tracks, like you said, that were B-sides and C-sides? What was it like going back and re-exploring them?
It was great, man. I mean, especially songs like Slaves of Pain, for instance, that we don't play a long time. A lot of parts. You have to relearn. You have to put your own music and try to relearn, remember leads and all that stuff, And it was great because, like I said, we were very open. We have Hata Mahata, for instance, with three drummers, and Hatred Aside with 4 singers, Territory and Inner Self with two bass players, stuff that we never did before, and we experiment a lot, and we didn't really were looking to do the version like we did on the album or on the studio or on live, because it was neither, was not live, was not in the studio, was this new format. Everyone in their own houses. Some singers send their vocals that they recorded at their bathroom. It was very homemade. Yeah, it was very homemade. It's on the album. It sounds great. It's very spontaneous, very real. It's fantastic. And also, I mean, we made the guests really free to do whatever they want, basically. I gave a lot of leads to many guitar players to do their own version. Danko Jones doing the singing on Sepul Nation is great, because it's very different from the metal approach, So, and why not, right? I mean, it's an opportunity to have a very unique version of every song on the album, that you're not gonna see anywhere else.
Definitely. Was there a guest that you were really, really excited about working with because they were someone that was on your bucket list to work with?
I mean, fortunately, we all know them very well. They're very good friends of ours, bands that inspired Sepultura, and musicians, younger musicians that were inspired by Sepultura. And it was great. We all toured together somehow, and in different parts of our career. But I have to say, I mean, to have a Motorhead with us, Phil Campbell, to make a version of Orgasmatron like that, with Eloy and Derek, because we recorded it during the Rise days, and we have that version and etc. But it was very special to have that song to close down everything. It's the only non-Sepultura song on the album, but it's almost like our song, it's like a adopted song that we have. And to have Phil Campbell there was his first album with Motorhead as well. That's a very special song for both of us, and it was a very great way to close down everything. And honored to have him with us.
Yeah. Was there a guest that really surprised you with something that they did, like something that when you first heard it you thought that won't work, but then it did work brilliantly well?
No, I mean, everything worked because it was really cool.
Yeah.
It was not like anything forced, I'm going to try to put like, I don't know, whatever, a violin here, so whatever, to invent too much. But I think Danko Jones was the most original, because he's not a metal, although he understands and knows metal a lot, he's a more of a rocker guy and stuff, and I really love the way he sang Sepul Nation. Was very different and unexpected. And of course Devin Townsend as well, the way he plays guitar and the way he sings as well is so unique, so special too, but Danko Jones was really cool, it was really surprising to hear that. Of course it's a little weird when you hear something so different, but I have to listen a few times and then wow, man, it's really working. It's fantastic.
During the lockdowns, a lot of people were really suffering. A lot of your fans would have been suffering. We've seen here in Australia, where we're still in lockdown at the moment, that suicide rates have risen. People calling helplines has risen. Were you guys kind of aware of that when you were talking to your fans, that there would have been people out there really, really suffering during that time?
Oh, most definitely, yes. I mean, on SepulQuarta, of course, we talked about our history, Sepultura's music. We have, guests that talk about music in general in heavy metal, but we talked about many different subjects. And in one of them, we had like the subject of depression and anxiety, especially even before the pandemic. Of course, the pandemic situation really made that situation worse, but it was something that was really growing here in Brazil, like youngsters committing suicide and stuff, very young people. And we talked with some doctors, some specialists, that Derek especially knows in the States, and we talked about with people here in Brazil and journalists as well. And, it's something that, was very unique because everybody was at their homes. It was not only the bands or the crew, it was the fans, When you are a fan, you have a type of a routine of going shows, right?
Yep.
You're going to see Testament Thursday and then Sepultura on Sunday and Metallica on Wednesday, whatever. I mean, you have that kind of routine that you expect, and you have new albums out and all that stuff, and and all of a sudden, all of us, was out there at our houses without having the possibility to go out, and I think SepulQuarta was one event that really helped the band, helped us, helped our sanity, and we heard and received many, many messages with many of our fans saying the same. That SepulQuarta was really helping them, and they expect every week something new going on, and the Q&As, they have also room to make questions and to send their questions and stuff. So the interaction with people is fundamental, to talk about and to put your mind in different situations, that you can balance a bad moment with some different options, that will take you out of that dark place, and music and art in general, it's a perfect outlet for that, if it's well used, of course.
Yeah, definitely. And how did you cope with the lockdown? Like, I know you had this project to keep you going, but did you also find that it was a little bit of a time when you were able to take a little bit of a rest from touring for a while and recharge the batteries a little bit?
Oh, definitely. I mean, an unwanted rest,
Yeah.
but was great, actually, because I always complained that I didn't have time to study classical guitar. I didn't have time to do proper exercises. I didn't have time to do whatever, like a routine, going to sleep at the same time on the same place, and we never had that. It's like a month here and a day there and a week over there, and different time changes and food and sleeping and bathroom and all that stuff, But we were accustomed to that. Was our routine.
Yeah.
At the same time, once we had this pandemic situation, I took advantage of that because I'm studying, I start studying guitar a lot more. I start doing exercises, in a routine manner every two or 3 days a week, and start doing meditation. I quit alcohol, even before the pandemic. It was like almost a year and a half, which helped me a lot, to clear my mind and really be aware of more of my body and my relationship with my family, especially, And it was a process, of self. I don't know how to put it, but self-talk to yourself.
Yeah.
You talk to yourself, and you realize you have to make changes. Otherwise, from now on, things are gonna get worse, on health and relationships and everything, So I think I took advantage of the pandemic situation in that matter. Really put my mind, of course, SepulQuarta, that we worked a lot to do that, but at the same time, getting a little more healthier physically and on my mind as well, like meditation and all that stuff. It was really cool that I managed to make a positive situation out of a tragedy,
Yeah.
that was so unexpected.
Yeah. And how do you see the music industry bouncing back from this? Because we had a really scary statistic released here this week where a company has contacted nearly every Australian band or artist who's had to cancel a gig in Australia over the last 18 months. And they've estimated that Australian artists have lost $84 million all up through lost gigs. How do you see the music industry bouncing back once the pandemic is over?
Yeah, of course, gonna be step by step. I think the entertainment business, the music business, it depends on interaction. It depends on traveling, going places, and international free access, basically. I mean, we have to go where the people are. It's basically as that. Of course, we have the internet and all the possibilities we use on SepulQuarta, but that's not going to substitute, the actual show, the interaction with people, the real energy, and where art actually happens. It's at the stage. That's where it happens, and that's where it evolves. That's where we develop into new ideas, into eventually a new album and stuff. But we're gonna have to learn how to survive and live with this virus.
Yeah.
The same way we live with so many different illness around there, and vaccines as well, and the yellow fever, for instance.
Yeah.
In many countries, you cannot go in if you don't have the shot for yellow fever.
Yep.
And we do, and we never talk about politics and all that stupid stuff because of the vaccine, and now we do. It's like it's ridiculous, but I mean, hopefully we'll have like a more of a understanding of how um, how we're going to survive with this virus, how our limitations, and how we're going to deal with that, because we have to deal with that, you know.
Yep.
So as more we learn, more we're going to know how to do it, and we have to be patient. You know, I think there's no other way. Otherwise, it would be unsafe for people to watch a concert, or for the bands or people working. You know, it's not worth it. I mean, we really want to make sure that we go to there to enjoy the show instead of being worried. Oh, who's on my side and don't cough on me or something like that. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
you have to be free to enjoy. You know, otherwise it makes no sense. You know, having a gathering and really experiencing a live concert. You know, the way it's supposed to be.
Definitely. Well, Andreas, a lot of people out there in Australia are going to be enjoying SepulQuarta tomorrow because it comes out tomorrow here. So I was just wondering, to finish
All
off
right.
the interview, what would you like to say to those people who are eagerly going to rush out and grab a copy tomorrow?
I'm so happy. One of my favorite albums of Sepultura, because it kind of created by itself. You know, it's an album very spontaneous, very truthful to the moment, and it shows that we are together, and we can make changes that will keep us united and strong. You know, I think SepulQuarta is one of them, and hopefully you guys enjoy, you know, the music, and motivate ourselves really to face this virus and make it happen, you know. So thank you very much for the support of all you all out there, and hopefully we see each other soon, you know, hopefully.
Definitely.